Ankle taping. So when taping the ankle, the first thing you would want to apply is heel lace pads. Top and bottom. This stops the friction of the shoe rubbing on the top of the foot and the back of the heel. Next, you'd want to apply a pre-wrap. Pre-wrap doesn't have to be laid that thick, just enough to cover the skin and to keep the tape from pulling the hair. Nice and easily wrapped around. So when you start the ankle tape, the first strip you want to lay is one across the arch of the foot. First you want to look for the bone on the side of the foot here. Then you want to put the tape slightly above it. If you go too far towards the toes, then you're going to end up causing cramping on the bottom of the foot. So you want to lay this down not too tight, nice and loose, right where that bone is right there. The next strip is going to be 2 strips across the top. If you have a nice sweaty athlete, then you want to put the tape slightly on the skin, so that way it prevents the tape from sliding down. You do 2 strips here. These are called your cover downs. Then you want to do your stirrups. And with the stirrups, you always go from the medial side or the inside of the foot and wrap around to the lateral side. The reason for this is most ankle sprains are because the ankle goes in, so you want to pull and shorten for the 3 ligaments that are on the side of the foot here. Keeping the foot in dorsiflexion or flexed, you start with 1 strip on the medial side and lay the tape down. I like to do 1 strip here just to leave the tape in place. Then do a second strip. Lay it down. And then cover down the rest of the ankle. If you have a large football player, sometimes you need to do 3 stirrups just to cover the whole base of the foot. But on a smaller athlete, you can get away with 2 strips. Then I finish covering down, laying the tape nice and flat. Key to success for your cover downs is angles. So when you're looking at the foot, my first angle when I come across the top of the leg is at a pretty steep angle as I come down. Then as I lay the tape farther and farther, I start to switch my angle, and now I start to go a little bit more up. This will keep the bubbles from forming in the back. If I do the wrong angle across, you can see how I form that bubble there, and you want to prevent bubbles. Bubbles will cause blisters in the long run for your athlete. I personally like to make sure that the entire ankle is covered with my cover downs. It keeps me from getting holes, which is most commonly seen here. But if you look on YouTube, you'll see many different types of tape jobs, and it's okay not to fully cover down. This is just a personal preference on my side. The next strips you're going to do are going to be your stirrups, or heel locks, sorry. So you start on the malleolus here, so I'll start on the lateral side. This is the lateral malleolus. Angle comes down around the bottom of the heel and then back up towards the center and then rip. And you want to do 2 on each side. They're going to look identical, just one's on the medial, or 2 on the medial and 2 on the lateral. And down and around. On the medial side, same thing. When you get comfortable taping, then you can do continuous all the way around without having to rip the tape at the top. But just for the sake of learning, always rip at the top. It's the easiest to prevent wrinkles all the way around. If you have bubbles in the back of the heel here as you come around, it probably means that you're off 2 angles prior. So if you start here and you're too flat, and you come down here and it doesn't work and you end up with that wrinkle there, then it means that this angle is off here where you started. So then just reposition the tape until you can get it in the right position. The next strip is going to be your figure 8. I personally like to start on the top of the foot, wrap down and around, and then you meet back where you started. And that's your figure 8. Lastly, I do a close-up strip on the bottom of the foot. And then you do cover-ups just to make the tape look nice and pretty, and then also cover up any ends so that way the tape doesn't unravel while your athlete is playing. Okay.